Welcome back, everybody. In the next few videos, we're going to be going over what I call cello shapes, and that is a number of patterns that you can play on the cello that have the same fingering in all 12 keys. So you'll want to get out your circle of fifths before you begin so that you can follow around the circle of fifths while we play these patterns in 12 keys. The purpose of playing patterns in all 12 keys is for many different technical reasons. The number one thing you're going to learn from playing patterns is the ability to move around your instrument with ease, hearing the relationships between notes, so intervals, and being able to establish a finger pattern or shape in your hand that you can use anywhere on your instrument. And whether you're playing classical music or whether you're using these shapes to improvise over chords, these are very powerful tools to be able to truly navigate and understand your fingerboard. So we're going to start with the most basic shape, and the most basic shape is a major chord. And we're going to start in the key of C. That's at the top of your circle of fifths. And we're going to start by using the fingering first finger, extension 4, and then going over the string to play 1. So we'll do this very slowly together so you can understand the relationship of the notes, and then we're going to go through 12 keys and try this fingering in all 12 keys. Remember, as you move around your cello, sometimes these shapes are going to be bigger if you're in the lower areas of your cello, and they're going to be smaller as you get up the cello. So what you need to be doing is really listening to make sure that the relationship between your notes is exactly how you want it to be. So try to audiate or hear the notes before you play. So we're going to start with C. In order to find C, you can play your open C, and then you're going to match the sound of that C on your G string with first finger. So you can just take a moment to find that note. If you need to slide around a bit to find that note, that's okay. If you need to sing it to yourself, C, and then find the note on the G string. So from C, we're going to play C, extension to E with fourth finger, and across the string to first finger G, back to E, C. So this is our first shape. This is the major shape, and we play it 1, extension 4, across the string to 1, back to 4, and 1. In terms of intervals, this interval from the C to an E, that's called a major third, and E to G is a minor third. Every major chord shape is made up of a major third and a minor third. So now that we've played C, E, G, E, C, we're going to move around the instrument, finding each of the keys in the circle of fifths, going from C, then to G, then to D, then to A, etc., all the way around the circle. So let's start. So here's C, E, G, E, C. Now we're going to find G with first finger. We're going to come down to the fourth position. G, B, D, B, G. You'll notice in the fourth position you might need to bring your elbow up and over the string a little bit in order to be able to reach the B in that G chord. Let's go to D. D, F sharp, A, F sharp, D. Moving to A, C sharp, E, C sharp, A. Now don't feel like you have to add vibrato. I'm just doing that for tone right now, but you can do this without vibrato. The most important thing is that you're using the same finger pattern, 1, extension 4, you may need to bring your thumb down to play your extension, and then across the string to the note across. We're playing the first note of a scale, the major third of the scale, and the fifth of the scale. That's what makes our major chord. Moving on from A. After A, we want to go to E major. So I'm going to put my first finger on E, G sharp, B, G sharp, E. Over to B major, extension, F sharp major, D flat major or C sharp major, A flat major or G sharp major, E flat major, B flat major, and F major. So you'll notice every single one of these major chord shapes has the exact same fingering. 1, extension 4, 1. However, this fingering 1, extension 4, 1 only relates to the chord shape when you're in the top half of your fingerboard. So when you're in first position all the way up to fourth position. After we get past the neck of the cello, past this point of the cello, you would not use the fourth finger and instead you would use third finger. So let's say you wanted to play your C major arpeggio. Down here we played it C, fourth finger, across to first. But if I move that arpeggio up and I find C, this is above the fourth position. Instead of using fourth finger, I would stretch and use my third finger. So if you want to extend your knowledge of these chord shapes and you're playing above the fourth position, your fingering is going to be 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. So I encourage you to play these chords in all 12 keys. I encourage you to really listen to the sound of each chord and each note in the chord. And your secondary kind of assignment will be to memorize what notes you are playing. So you'll know if you're playing the C chord that you're starting on C, but you also want to make sure that you know that this extension is E. And when you come across the string, you're playing G. So don't forget, as well as learning how these notes sound, we also want to know what they're called. Because when you come to see them in sheet music, if you're playing sheet music, or if you're improvising over chord charts, either one in a classical style and an improv style, it's always very helpful to understand your fingerboard geography, meaning you know exactly what note you're playing at any given time. In the next video, we're going to add the seventh to this chord in order to make the dominant seventh chord.